So first, how do we even get here? Because America and Canada are not supposed to be enemies. These are two of the closest allies on Earth. They share the world's longest international border. The economies are deeply intertwined. Canada is one of America's longest trading partners, and for decades, goods have moved back and forth across that border through supply chains that are practically built as one North American economy. A car, for example, can have parts crossing the US-Canada border multiple times before that vehicle is ever finished. And so when Trump returned to office and began escalating his trade fight with Canada, this wasn't America taking on some distant economic rival. This was America putting pressure on one of its closest friends. And Trump's argument has been pretty straightforward. He says Canada has benefited enormously from access to the American market while maintaining trade barriers that hurt American producers, particularly in industries like dairy. Now, Canada, of course, strongly disputes the broader characterization that it has been taking advantage of America. But this dispute quickly became about much more than trade. Trump began repeatedly talking about Canada becoming America's 51st state. Yes.
What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy. We have more energy than they do. We don't need them for energy. So I say, why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them. As a state, it's different. As a state, it's much different. And there are no tariffs. So I'd love to see that.
Trump argued that Canada depends so heavily on the United States that it essentially enjoys many of the benefits of being part of America already. Now, Canadians did not find that funny. And under Prime Minister Mark Carney, Canada began taking a much harder position. The old relationship with America had fundamentally changed. But here's where things really escalated. Over the past several days, the two governments were actually negotiating. August 19th, 50% tariffs were set to hit $20 billion of Canadian goods at 12:01 a.m. And 2 hours before the deadline, Trump announced that there's a delay. A deal, he said, was underway. Canada agreeing to drop measures that the U.S. considered discriminatory against American alcohol, dairy, and auto exports.